only Two Line Show. Let's go. Two Line Show. We in this bitch. Two Line Show. Our facts legit. Two Line Show. We keep it lit. Two Line Show. I got them views. Two Line Show. She got them too. Two Line Show. We can't not lose. Two Line Show. Hey.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, welcome all. It's a Sunday night, getting it right for y'all for next week. But anyway, welcome to the Two Line Show. I'm the one and only the nice one, and I'm with my co-host
Joy.
with the most joy. Anyway, how y'all been out there in the streets? I've been alright. How you been?
I've been great.
All right. Well, you staying healthy and no illnesses or how your weight gain going back?
My weight loss.
Oh damn! I'm talking about getting fit rather.
Oh yeah, like I worked out, hit the gym for the first time in a long time. I was gonna go running this weekend, but it was way too cold. But I'll get back on the grind.
Yeah, man, I'd be motivated to get out there on my bike, but boy, once that wind hit your ass and you have a hoodie on, they still get up under there and hit you in the back, and yeah, it's time to wait till the sun and the weather and the calendar changes before I do all that extracurricular cardio. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, it's too damn cold.
Yeah, it's too damn cold. So what else going on?
Oh, it snowed last Sunday, so that's why we didn't do anything. I don't drive in any sort of bad weather in this state because it just doesn't matter. Did you play in the snow at all? Did you go outside a little bit?
Man, no. That shit is for people who ain't seen it before. I've been there, done that. I used to live in Ohio.
Yeah, you did. Sorry.
Ohio, where it really snows, like some fucking inches, like 12 to 14, like that shit right there, foot and a half, shit like that. So this shit y'all be calling snow and can't drive, the whole city shut down. It just shows you how backwoods the DOT is out here.
Right. Well, I did play in the snow with my son, so we had fun, and but it was really cold, and I'm like, I couldn't. No cold weather. So what we got? Yeah, we got
the Medlin report. Yeah. Okay. No. Before the report, we're gonna do
we do
the
news and sports.
30 seconds of hits of talking about what's going on, news and current events.
So last week I asked him questions. This week he's about to ask me questions.
All right. So the first question is, hey man, the Rams just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady when it looked like they was about to cough that bitch up, but we succeeded with an MVP player of Cooper Kupp. That boy, salute you, homie.
He's like the McAfee. Remember the dad McAfee?
He like Allstate. Don't leave home without it, man. You better sign him. Give him his money. So anyway, we want to know how you feel about that and going forward. Who you going for in the Super Bowl?
Number one, I'm not a Matthew Stafford fan at all. I am not a Matthew Stafford fan, but I am happy for LA organization. But it's going to be an all Cali NFC Championship game. So whoever, wins that, I am really, really happy because a California team will be in it. But shout out to Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator, for figuring out Brady early for that W. And shout out to San Francisco for keeping Aaron Rodgers home.
Yeah, that's what we talking about.
Right.
Ram Nation, let's go. All my co-workers at work, there's some Steeler fans in there, there's some sad ass Dallas fans in there, and some super sad Falcon fans in there too. Oh y'all. I try to tell y'all dudes, man. Anyway, salute, man. Rams, let's go. All right, second question is, you coming into the new year. It's tax season. What are you looking forward with? You getting that big check? Let's go. What you getting?
Just saving some money. I usually use it for like my international trip. So, and then I save pretty much put away the rest.
So you don't just spend it right away?
No. I don't.
Okay, smart.
Because I actually save.
Message.
I save about $2,000 or $3,000 to pay for my taxes for my house.
Oh wow.
Because
smart.
So I have to put that away. But usually I just get some stuff around the house. but not too much. But I usually try to hold on to at least 9 or 10,000.
Maybe one day I'll see it.
You said what?
I said maybe one day I'll see it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, right the street.
Yeah.
All right, next.
There we go.
You have to turn it off, then on. So turn it off.
It's
and,
on.
and, then, and then turn it.
Yeah, I know.
And then,
There you go. There we go.
All right.
Third question is now that we're looking forward to no change in the voting situation.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, they basically trying to tell blacks if you don't have transportation to get to the voting booth on time, then you won't be voting because they definitely shutting down a lot of the voting booths and what do they call them?
Well, drop boxes?
Ballot. No, the ballot election spots where they go elect.
Yeah.
In
Location.
the country and shit. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's like, how you feel about them?
Precincts.
How you feel about them doing that? And we should get something mobilized to make that happen.
Well, we have to understand is like, power to power. It's like you have to do public policy and to the powers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like as a group of people, as a 5,000 people, they're not going to listen. But if it's 500,000 people, they're going to listen. So if we really, the power's with the people is what I meant to say. Excuse me. The power's with the people. The power's with the people. So like if enough of us go out there and really slow some pressure, then we'll be all right. Trust me, they're going to try to take this election.
It basically draws down to this, or bars down to this. Your grandma in the country, your auntie in the country, all y'all folks got people all in the South and all in these little what they call them? What? Red clay land as little spots way in the country. Check on them folks, make sure they voting. Every vote counts.
And they're on a registration.
They trying to make sure you don't vote. Then they trying to say it don't count because you didn't vote this time, last time at the same address. Clear all that shit up, basically. That's good. They on some, they really on some fuck shit. All right. You had to do one thing or change one thing about your ex. What would it be? Hey.
His father not pulling out.
Shit. Damn, man. That speaks volumes to a lot of y'all out there. It's sad to say. I've heard, she's told me. So.
His father not pulling out.
You should have had a condom.
Yeah. Or
you too.
Yeah. Well, you're right. But I can't even. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I have nothing to say in response to that.
Yeah. All right. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
All right, now we're trying to use some black knowledge. You always need that in your life. That's why we create the Melon Report. It don't have to be all sad, but then again, some of the subjects are, sometimes you need to hear. So here we go.
It's the one and only Two Line Show. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, hey, it's the Melon Report. Hey, it's the Melon Report. Let's join. Hey, it's the Melon Report. We got news. Hey, it's the Melon Report.
First take, baby. First take. No
one and done. One and
Too
done.
live, even the recordings.
One and done. All right.
So what we talking about?
So, she actually was. The bunch of people died within like the last week or so. It was Meatloaf. It was Lee Anderson. It was her last name was Bishop.
Google if you don't know.
Her last name was Bishop. She did blaxploitation films. Then I heard about Regina King's son, ROP with that. That was heartbreaking. And a Tibetan monk, his name is Chet. I forgot the last name. He also passed. But the sixth person who passed is the person that we're going to highlight. Her name is Lucia Harris, but she went by Lucy. All right. So Lucia Harris was born in some small ass town in Mississippi in 1955.
Pretty typical.
Yeah, and
SEC.
Yeah, in 19. So sorry, she was born in 1955, but when she got to high school, she was 6'3". So she was pretty damn tall for that age. Yeah. So she was gonna go to Alcorn State, but they didn't have a women's basketball team. So Title IX was signed by Nixon that year. And Title IX is basically saying what colleges do for male sports, they have to do for female. So all these schools were having or getting women's basketball together for the first time. So Alcorn State didn't have girls basketball, but Delta State and Cleveland had basketball. So she went to Delta State in Cleveland, and
Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay. That thing like Cleveland, Tennessee.
No.
Nah.
No.
Ohio.
So she was the only black player in there. So the men had the NCAA, the women had the AIAW, and it's basically the women's branch of the NCAA at the time. So they went to the championship game. They lost, but then she came back, and they won 3 championships back to back. They
Resilience, baby.
Right. So the threes. She was it. 3-peat. That's what she did.
You learn from your flaws and you build from it.
3-peat. They played the immaculate, college or whatever, but they were like the powerhouse of the day. Yeah. So it happened after she finished college. Nice. She got she was on the 1977 Olympic team in Montreal. And what made this so special was this was the first game that had women's basketball, and she was the first person to score the first shot of the first Olympic game in women's basketball. Okay. Sadly, after her career, there was no WNBA, there was no other state, so she was done, and she went into depression, and she actually developed bipolar disorder. But then she went back to her high school and coached. She had 4 kids, all successful, and but what made her history is the New Orleans Jazz were going to draft her in the NBA. She would be the first woman to be drafted in the NBA had she gone to the tryout. But she said that she just didn't have enough confidence in herself to do it. Yeah. So,
They put her in isolation and didn't give her nothing else to do. I mean, coming out of that bubble, she probably didn't have the motivation.
Yeah, she didn't have the confidence. She didn't have the self-esteem.
But they take away a lot of our heroes. You don't even know about them.
So she died. She was 66 years old. Miss Lucia Harris, thank you so much for your contribution. She died on the 18th.
Okay.
So thank you for your contribution. Maya Moore, Dana Taurasi, Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker. They all look to you for really blazing that trail. So thank you, Miss Lucia Harris. You know why?
Hey man, we laughing now, but sometimes you have to laugh before you cry.
Shit.
And the subject matter today is handling your business when you don't want to even think about this time in anyone in your life, anybody, your mom, your dad, siblings, your grandma, your grandpa, but
or yourself.
It's a recycle or yourself. It's a recycle in life that we all have to go through. Whether you get to old age or you somehow get cut short, because of some of the decisions you made, you have to be prepared for that. So we're talking about death and handling your business before you have to start a GoFundMe or get online.
It's not life insurance.
Yeah, it looks pretty sad, and it's just like we never have our shit together in any aspect of our lives. Like, they already think we don't believe in checking accounts and actually saving account, having money in the savings. White folks' average savings account is probably like $15,000 to $20,000. That's average. So when you say savings, you have to really save. And we don't do that, so that's why we end up having to borrow money from family or borrow from the church or put a GoFundMe out there. We're trying to tell you, nah, let's not do it that way. Let's start a new way. It's a new time in history. Black excellence, Black Renaissance. Let's act like it and handle our business, even when the affairs. Because when Grandma died and she got the car, and the sisters fighting over the car, and I want the house, and I've seen it before with my own eyes, with my own parent, my mom. So shit is real. So before we get to all that, let's just do the basics. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Okay. So one of the reasons why I think the simplest things people can do before this time is to make sure you have life insurance policy. Or that be for yourself, your kids, your parents. Like, when you have life insurance policy, you can set aside money for funeral costs. So average funeral is like $5,000 to $10,000. right?
Yeah.
So instead of going to go crowd, sourcing for this shit, you can easily just pay $50 a month
Or
for
lower.
or lower,
It's not
however you
even.
want to do it
Yeah.
for funeral insurance. It's
Mhm.
really simple because that's one thing that you don't want to worry about when your loved one is dead or have died, or if you're dying, like how is my children or how is somebody else going to take care of this? So just set up, appointment with any insurancer and they'll say, yes, this is how much we can cover you, or this is how much you can
We
afford.
all get those colonial life insurance little mailers in the mailbox
Mm-hmm.
that says no physicals needed. Sign up, give me the information about the whoever it is, and they start it for like under $20.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cheap and it's smart because y'all spend money every day and on some Kush or some Zaza or some Hennessy or whatever else dumb vices we have, and I'm all for it. Enjoying our lives and shit, but we have to take care of our lives after the fact too,
Mm-hmm.
because you leave that strain on your family. You don't have no insurance, so now all the bills can't keep the house because nobody can afford the insurance or pay the mortgage. So now y'all lose the house. Like, come on, man, let's stop that dumb shit. Get life insurance, 50,000 for $25 or $70. All the siblings put in on it. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's all said and done, y'all gonna be having your hand out talking about I want this, I want that. Instead of doing that, like little buzzers and shit and leeches and shit. Handle it like a professional, you know what I'm saying? And you handle your business anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we need to do. Period.
I agree. So
That's step one, what she's saying to do.
so also, so make sure after you get your funeral policy together, if you have children and something that needs to be taken care of, make sure you put somebody in line for that. Because again, you don't
Power
want
attorney.
private attorney. So let this person who you trust, it can be a best friend, a sibling, or an actual attorney to execute whatever it is that you say. Having a will, like you can have the changing will. It can change daily, it can change monthly, yearly, however you want. So have an active will going on. So just in case
Where they can get that through.
they
Because
can
they're gonna
they
want
can
their
go
money.
they can go through an attorney as well. Also, attorney can set up your will. So one-time fee for them to do it. It's not a lot of money to do so.
Look it up, Google.
So Google, and you can get your will
You have
together.
one?
A will. I'm gonna have a working will. I have life insurance for my kids, but
Okay.
the will.
Put life insurance on your kids too, right now.
Right.
Like, don't wait.
Right. So life insurance on your kids, a $10,000 policy. That's probably $25 or $30.
A month.
A month.
And it's quarterly sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes it's quarterly
Yeah.
depending on how. And the
Yeah.
younger your children are, of course, the lower it's going to be because the likelihood of your kid dying,
Yeah,
it's
it
short.
should be minimal. But
No. So also, if you can, I would increase your insurance policy. So like my sons, if I go away, they'll have enough to pay for the house, money left over for college and a car. So what I plan to do is, as my income goes up, I'm going to be increasing my policy for my kids, and that's one way rich people, wealthy people, get their kids money automatically. Is that when they die, they already have money. So when Donald Trump was born, he was worth $20 million. So it's important that we set up our children so they won't have to struggle like us. I don't know why in the black family we think our kids should struggle because we did. The fact is, each generation is supposed
stupid, and it's just counterproductive of growing your family into any type of wealth.
Right. You have to be able to support your children because they're going to see that, okay, let's, keep this thing going.
Motherfuckers can put a 17% APR Lexus 2011 on your credit for 7 years and paying $500 for some shit you should be paying $250 for. Then you can go and take care of some shit that's definitely part of your legacy and your life. Like, if you're not prepared for what's gonna happen after the fact, because we all got to go, we are going. So leave it at a better predicament than where you left it, how you left it, basically.
Also, if you have any like passwords on your phone or your computer, please leave that because we might have to go on and whatever documents you may have on there, and it's hard as hell to try to guess your password when you're dead. And certain companies will not break your phone whether you're dead or alive because it's against their
I may actually make a video wheel. I've thought about that, and I really think I am at some point.
Oh, that's
So,
dope.
yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
So I'm like,
yeah.
So I'm doing the the evaluation of the kids and how they act and how they respond, and
Succession.
and their output of income will reflect that. Basically, they will be on a what you call that, a restricted income, or where they get money from
allowance.
Allowance. Depending on how they were when I was here. Even if it's the same amount, I stretch that shit out. Like, you only getting $250 a week, nigga. Like 7 years. It may equal out to 30,000 or 40,000, whatever. But nah, you was a fucking bitch nigga when I was here. And you didn't want to do what I said. You didn't take care of me when I was old and shit. I had to hire a nurse because you ain't had time to come. I'm thinking this shit in my mind, y'all.
Them sponge baths might be fun though.
Yeah, it's gonna be because I'm gonna pay for it. I'll make sure I can pay for it because I know he ain't gonna want to do that shit. And none of them little niggas. That's why I wish I had a daughter.
I don't see. I have sons. So. I'm SOL with that. Also, what you want to also do is, however you want to be buried. Yeah, whether you want to be like cremated, buried, you need to decide that shit. Because, you need to decide, do you want a religious ceremony or a non-religious ceremony?
Because if you ain't paid for shit, they gonna cremate your ass.
Right. And you may not want to be cremated. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you're not going to be here to feel anything. It's funny the two ways. Like, one of my worst fears is being burned to death or buried alive. Damn. So whatever it is, I'm gonna be fucked over anyway. So I'm like,
that's your two fears. Mine's probably
drowning.
Mine's probably getting shot to death, or goddamn falling off some tall ass building.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. Oh yeah,
like that would be the worst.
Oh
that's
yeah,
my worst fear.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, so
yeah, it is.
And then if I'm shooting. If I'm getting shot to death, I hope I'm shooting at a motherfucker back, and we both there. Like, yeah.
So
where you going? Oh,
you want to go out like a G?
Definitely.
Okay. So
if you try me, I'm gonna try you back.
Okay. So then that's what we have. So also, you want to how your burial procedures are, power of attorney, acting will, life insurance for yourself, life insurance for your kids. Also, an
is this the low way, like the poor budget way of doing it? Because you got to think about the people who can't afford the attorney. So what's an alternative?
So alternate is you can actually go online and make your own will.
There you go.
So you can go online, just type it up. How to create your will, and you can create your own will and the process to it. But make sure your will can be found. Don't put it in some obscure ass place. Only you know it is. You tell them, hey, this is where my will is. Blah blah blah.
Basically, let two people and love and trust.
Where your will is.
Yeah.
Where your will is. See, this is the thing about being married. This thing about being married.
Huh? What?
I'm saying, like, they can help. Like, if anything were to happen to either one of y'all, they know who to take care of it. Like, you don't have to go find people. It's your significant other.
Well, if that ain't the situation.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
I'm just saying, what if it's not though?
That you can't.
Yeah, you don't want that information to be
with them.
Yeah,
I think he chose wrong then. If that's
I'm just asking for a friend.
That's interesting.
Asking for a friend.
I've never. You got do you get along with your siblings?
I mean, before it's me, I love all of them, but the country living or the country life, or I don't know how life is done or treated them. They don't reach out as much. So my two youngest, they reach out more than anybody.
What about the heirs?
MIA.
The heirs to the throne. What about them?
Heir to the throne. Who that
Your sons, the heirs. Your heirs.
What about them?
I mean, would you be able to trust them?
I think one of them for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think I trust all of them, but as far as being responsible and shit, I think I trust one of them more than the other one.
Okay. All right. So you definitely want somebody to
get people you trust.
Get people you trust and love. Also,
be responsible.
Be responsible. Insurance on your homes, right? Make sure that insurance is not lapsed, because once you die, all that can go to hell.
Yeah.
Right? So like make sure your insurance is on top of your house, your car, whatever value you have.
Yeah, speaking of insurance, why don't you have that money coming out your escrow? The money you were saying you paid.
Oh, I mean I can. I'm just not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make my money build as much as possible. Because when you take money out your house, you gotta pay the shit back eventually.
No,
So
I'm saying
Mhm.
pay. I guess pay more on your mortgage, so the taxes that you have to pay at the end would be coming out the escrow.
oh, I
Instead of
understand. Well, you know, actually, I going in buying my house, I already had 20,000 equity in the damn house. So I'm trying to build that to where like if some shit really went down, I
So
can
you
just
already
pull.
refied it already?
Not yet.
So
But it's like because what happened is my house appraised higher than what it was, and the money appraised for I got to keep the top.
yeah, our taxes be going crazy too on it.
Yeah, I was so pissed off getting that fucking bill this past year. But I was happy because I saved enough where it wasn't coming out of my pocket. It was already there.
Hey, as far as death and family and somebody knowing, it's funny how black people, especially us, we have a gang of secrets in the family, and then as soon as it's about to be, death or something, then you find out some shit. Your cousin is your sister, or your uncle is your brother, or he was a play cousin, or play. You find out so much shit. So
That is
I
true.
say that to say we need to have a family reunion where we just openly
All that
telling
stuff
the
just come
secrets
out.
of our family,
All that
like
comes
so
out.
everybody knows. I mean, most of this shit, if we actually written down, would be a bestseller. I know my shit would because I thought about it plenty of times.
Yo, you need to write that down, man.
But hey, I need somebody to help me with it.
Yeah, yo.
But
I
anyway,
do scripts. So I can't write novels. I'll help you out with script format.
okay.
But I will work series, however you want to win it. But I would definitely say that the most important thing to do in preparing for that afterlife where no traveler has returned, Shakespeare, you definitely want to talk to people about it as far as what your plans are. If you have an elderly parent, please make sure you say, hey, we need to go ahead and talk about this in case they have debt, because just because they die, that debt stays alive. So it is a tough conversation. Nobody wants to have it because it's very emotional and thinking about but
it's necessary.
but it's needed. So when that happens, that's one less thing you have to worry about because you want to grieve. You want to properly grieve. You don't want to have to grieve.
You don't grieve and be in financial ruin
right.
at the same
And
time.
try to figure out what happened here with Dad.
He didn't pay that after
yeah, oh my
12
God,
years.
who's gonna take care of this? Right. So you want to be, and when you grieving and try to handle financial things, it never works out. So you want to be able to sit and properly grieve versus, damn, I didn't know Dad had all these or Mom had all these money issues.
Yeah.
And your hospital bills. Yo, if you have hospital bills, please let your family know before you go ahead and you kick the can, because again, that falls right back on
back on us. So any money that is in the will or in the estate, they gonna get it 1st. Facts. Or they gonna sue to get it 1st. So, and another thing for the men, stop waiting till you almost on your last fourth level of prostate cancer before you say something about some shit. Like, stop holding shit back. Like, stop holding on to these illnesses and go see a doctor. Like, a lot of these deaths that we go through as black men could be avoided if we just did unnecessary stuff for keeping healthy.
Andre Leon Talley, the Vogue guy, he also died.
Yeah, the Vogue, extra Vogue guy. I mean, I say extra because he was extra in his life.
Well, actually, obesity.
LGBT,
yeah, obesity and COVID was the responsibility for this.
Obesity and being unhealthy and not taking care of yourself and think you can eat everything you want anytime you want to at any age is not good for the body. And people who on lean and thinking that shit is the best shit ever, and you addicted like Waukesha, you're in your 20s and enjoying the shit. In your 30s and your 40s, you're gonna be feeling that shit. Cause you ain't gonna have the same liver, and you're gonna wonder why you can't do certain things or why you can't hold your bladder and all that shit. And you're gonna be fucked up. you're gonna realize life ain't a game.
Erectile dysfunction.
You can fast forward your way to a death. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So change your lifestyle and stop taking shit for granted. Or if you're gonna do that, at least have life insurance.
Right. please don't crowdsource. That's not how you pay for things.
Yeah.
So that was basically my advice for people who are having elderly parents, or again, we never know when that, you know, that bell will ring for us, whom the bell tolls.
Yeah, it comes unexpectedly.
Unexpectedly, and sometimes we do expect
Stray
it,
bullet.
but
Fucking,
any. But any, but
Same.
please have your affairs in order. But the simplest thing you can start off doing is getting life insurance. Again, if you're a young parent, which is fine, it's going to be cheaper from if you're like a parent who's 50. So if you have your baby, if you really want your baby or your child to be looked after, get life insurance.
And if you really want to like look at it as like a money come up, not a money come up, but an investment, they have insurance, life insurance that you can
take around and borrow against.
Yeah, take it. You can borrow against the what's on it. So
right. So
do
please,
that.
Yeah, you guys.
We implore you, you know, take care of your family, take care of yourself, because we tired of seeing y'all on Instagram and Facebook talking about please help our family. You know, Ray just passed and they ain't have no insurance and da 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 da. Same little dumbass, stupid ass, irresponsible ass storyline that we hear every year and every day.
Right.
So stop the madness, get your shit together, take care of yourself, don't let death take care of you.
Amen. So we're gonna go into my joy and pain.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, my joy, again, congratulations to California as a state. You know, it's what we do.
We the best.
This is what we are. Again, you know, as they say, I love LA, and it's the home of City of Champions. City of Champions. That's what Inglewood is. The City of Champions. That's where SoFi is. City of Champions. So, you know, everybody talks shit about the Cowboys every year, Green Bay every year, you know, all these bullshit teams. No, there's only one that stands tall. So
Rams.
Right. So my pain is that of course we talked about earlier, the two bills, the John Lewis bill and the Freedom of Voting Act bill, did not pass. They actually didn't pass because of filibuster. Please stop blaming Biden and the Democratic Party.
Yeah, learn the fucking politic game.
It's the Republicans who obstructed the voting rights, not Democrats. Democrats were ready to vote. Yeah. It only needed 10 Republicans to cross party lines to pass a filibuster. So your 50 Republican senators, they do not believe in voting rights. Yeah. So the fact is, this country can slip into right. African Americans and African Americans who vote. So there's some now. There's
African Americans and
Americans who can vote. They can vote.
You vote. We are different.
Right.
Other.
So they're saying the quiet part loud now. And we need to really focus on what they're trying to do. So the reason why would they want to make voting harder? Because they know that if we vote in mass, Democrats win.
And they also know, okay, my real spill, and they also know that they about to be the minority. So the old motherfuckers that's in power are trying to do everything to sabotage and make sure the game is not fair, and it still works in their way and their advantage. So real spill from a G. You know what I'm saying? You may not like voting. You may not like to hear about this shit all the time. But you know, if you're above 18 or you know you have anything responsible going on in your life, this is part of your life. So get used to it, get involved, and make sure you tell your family to get their ass up off their feet and get their ass off their ass and go vote. Period. Point blank. If they ain't got no transportation, give them transportation.
Uber.
Yeah, Uber your ass over there. You ain't seen her in a long time. Go see your auntie, and me included. So if she need a ride though, I'm gonna get it to her. So real spill from a G. Keep your shit, keep your family tight, and everything else will be all right.
Amen.
Real spill.
And I think that is it.
Hey.
Next week, Mr. Bowtie is going to join us. So yeah. I guess it has to be a really, really, really good topic because he usually says some interesting stuff.
He has a bizarre way of looking at things, but we love my boy.
We do. We do.
So till next time, it's 2 Live Show, and we out this bitch.